Peace and love, bag babes. It's your girl Nashay. Tonight I bring to you the Coach Rowan in black. As you saw just now, I finally took all of the packaging and wrapping off of her. I'll be testing her out to see if I like her. I'll be doing a quick comparison between the Rowan and another bag. I have mentioned it on my community page a couple weeks ago that not only does Coach make a Rowan bag, but Dooney and Bourke also has a Rowan bag. And here's a quick look at the Dooney Rowan. Very similar bag, as they're both barrel bags and they're both on the smaller side. So this should be a very interesting comparison of the two bags. We'll first delve into the Coach bag and I'll wear her for a little bit and see how I feel. And then we'll switch it up and put everything in this Dooney bag and also see how I feel. And we'll get a true comparison of the two. Now, in both bags, I will be putting the same items. I'm using this bag here as my makeup pouch, the infamous eyeglass case. I'm using this little drawstring to house my electronic cords. Here's my hand sanitizer. I have a clear pouch as my bathroom pouch. I'll be using my Coach wallet. And I have my Wicked Vanilla Woods Bath & Body body cream. I also have my kitty cat mirror, a black Sharpie pen, my small little Mojo bag, and my house keys. Let's not forget my little pocket tissues, that's almost finished, and a handy dandy lighter. We'll start with the Coach Rowan, so we'll say goodbye for now to our lovely Dooney Rowan. As you see, with this lovely Coach Rowan, she's giving sophistication, right? She's definitely a lady. We have a very, very structured bag here. This is a cross grain leather. To me, it gives Saffiano. It feels like Saffiano, it looks like Saffiano, but according to the deets on the website, it is a cross grain leather. We also have some lovely silver hardware. We see that at the top we have a zip closure. We also have a zip pocket on the outside. Here are some lovely top handles. These are 4.5 inches. We also see that she does have a lovely strap, and this strap is 23 inches. This bag has feet on the bottom, and she is 10 inches long, 6.5 inches high, and she is 5.5 inches wide. Okay, so we are back. I took some time and I hung out with this Coach Rowan, and I have to say that I actually enjoyed it, much to my surprise, because I was not expecting to enjoy it. I thought that I would have some trouble with this bag, and quite honestly, I did not. I did enjoy this carry. So we're gonna go ahead and move on now to the Dooney and Bourke Rowan satchel. It's a barrel shaped satchel. She is made with that pebble leather. We also have a removable shoulder strap. She has really nice red cloth interior. This bag also has feet. And her hardware is gold. There is no outside pocket. The handles, I didn't get a measurement, but it looks to be about the same, about a 4-inch drop. This bag is 9 inches long, 6.5 inches high, and 5 inches deep. So we already see that she is a little smaller than our Coach Rowan. But we are gonna go ahead and give her a shot. We're gonna go ahead and pack her up with the very same items that was in the Rowan. We'll go ahead and get that done now, and then I'll hang out with her for a couple hours and see how it feels, and I'll determine what bag I actually like the best. Okay, so my Dooney and Bourke Rowan satchel is all packed and ready to hang out with me for a little bit, and she feels pretty good. She looks good, and she did get all the items in her. All right, ladies, I am back. I did take my Dooney and Bourke Rowan out, and I hung out with her for a little bit. It was comfortable for the most part. I did have a few qualms, but the overall carry was comfortable. It's a Dooney and Bourke, so she's not going to be very disappointing, even when she's disappointing. I am trying to not be biased at all because, as we all know, I am a total Dooneysta. I'm loony for Dooney, and I prefer Dooney over most. Here are the two bags. Both very, very beautiful purses. Dooney and Bourke Rowan satchel and the Coach Rowan satchel. The similarities are pretty obvious. They are the same silhouette. They have top handles, and the overall structure pretty much the same. We have some really good leather on both bags. We have the top grain leather on the Coach, and we have the pebble leather on the Dooney and Bourke. Both bags have feet on the bottom, and they are both pretty lightweight while empty. And once you fill them up, the weight distributes pretty evenly. You can definitely see the difference here. While the Coach is 10 inches long, our Dooney is 9 inches long. So you can see that size difference right there. To a crazy bag lady, that 1 inch makes all the difference. I'm looking at the depth of the bags, and it definitely looks like the Dooney is slightly deeper than the Coach Rowan. However, the Coach Rowan, the website says it should be about 5.5 inches deep, while the Dooney is supposed to be 5 inches deep. The Dooney looks a little bigger in this area. And I think that has to just do with the leather itself, because we have one very, very structured leather, the Coach, and then we have a looser pebble leather on the Dooney. So I think that's the reason why she seems a little bigger, but just take a look for yourself. It definitely looks like that Dooney is a little deeper. just a tiny bit. So this is not quite 5.5. Again, the website says that the Dooney is 5 inches wide. It definitely seems as though it's just a little bit over that 5-inch mark. Not quite 5.5, but certainly a little bit wider, a little bit deeper than 5 inches. As far as the coach, the website says that the coach is 5.5 inches, but it doesn't quite meet the 5.5-inch mark. So when it comes to the depth of the bags, I would have to say that the Dooney is definitely seeming to be a little bit bigger. And there's also the possibility that the website just is a little off when it comes to the actual dimensions of these bags. Here is the inside of the Dooney. We have the slip pocket on one side. It's red cloth interior. And then we have a slip pocket on the opposite side. So 2 interior pockets. With the coach, pretty much the same setup. We have a zip pocket on one side and then a slip pocket on the other, just like the Dooney bag. And the coach also has that black interior, which does make it a little bit harder to find your things versus Dooney's bright red interior, which definitely makes it easier to find your things. The overall structure of the bags are similar. We have the same silhouette. The slight differences make all the difference. Right off, we can see that the Dooney and Bourke does not have an exterior pocket, which does have that exterior pocket there, which makes it more convenient than the Dooney. Having an exterior pocket is very convenient and helps you to avoid having to constantly go into your bag for the items that you just need to grab frequently. And so that definitely was a major difference for me. Another very obvious difference in these two bags are the openings, the mouth of the bags. The Dooney and Bourke zipper top is a little harder to get into simply because it has this straight zip on the top, and that's all you get. So getting inside can be a little bit of a job, especially if you have a lot of different things to get to. You're constantly having to pry open the mouth. On the other hand, the Coach Rowan has a zipper that extends further down, and that gives you a lot of room to get into your bags. And you don't have to pry it open as much as you would with the Dooney and Bourke, because this extends down, it gives you more space, and you're able to just maneuver a lot easier with a handbag that gives you a bigger opening, a wider mouth. For some, that is definitely a deal breaker, having a smaller opening at the top of the bag. It tends to make it a little bit more inconvenient. It tends to make it more cumbersome. And when you're on the go and moving around, it definitely can get uncomfortable. That Coach Rowan is extending all the way down, whereas the Dooney and Bourke stops abruptly at the top. The placement of the straps. OMG. I cannot stand when we have to hook our strap onto the top handle. This right here is not okay. I wish handbag companies would just keep it simple and leave our top handles alone and place these straps on the side where they should be. I think it would just make the carry very, very, very comfortable. You have to hook it onto the same ring that the top handle has, and you have to put that strap in the middle, kind of like in the middle of the bag, right, on one side, and then you do the same with the other end on the other side. This is the look that you end up with. And it also forces the top handles to lift a little bit. I mean, it's not a huge deal when you're wearing the bag, you're not really thinking about it, but it definitely can look a little odd. And it definitely can get uncomfortable. So I wish the companies would go back to just keeping the straps on the side of the bag. What is the problem? So that is one major difference. They got it right with the Coach Rowan. Here we have the strap on the sides of the bag where they should be, in my opinion. It just makes the carry that much more comfortable. The weight is distributed evenly, and it just makes sense to have the straps on the sides of the bag. I really love that about wearing this Coach bag. That was huge for me. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you do have the option of taking off this strap right here and hooking it up here if you were just into that type of carry. But for me, I'm just happy to have the straps on the side of the bag. Here is an overview of the Coach Rowan. Everything that I wanted to carry fits nicely in this bag. I have the pockets, the interior pockets are filled with smaller items. And I was able to utilize that front pocket for items such as lip gloss and keys. With this handbag, I can go ahead and stand items up, such as my glasses case here. It fits nicely standing in there, so that made it easier to pack the bag and keep things organized. I also came to realize that with these type of bags, placement is everything. So you do want to be mindful when you're packing the bag so that you can have the items that you reach for more frequently closer to you. And that way you won't have to be fumbling through the bags too much. But everything that I wanted to carry is in here, and I can see everything. I can reach for everything without a problem. And I think that is partly due to this lovely zipper that the Rowan has. And even though it's dark in there and most of my items are dark, I still don't think I would have too much of a problem finding what I need. Closes nicely, and we are ready to go. Now, I'm always big on being able to add something to the bag while I'm on the go. So I wanted to see if the Rowan would enable me to do that. So if I needed to add something else to the mix, would I have the space to do that? For instance, you know, I like to carry my journal / date book. So would I have space in here to slip her in? Let's find out. Here she is right here. And I do believe I would have space. I can just slip her into the back. And that doesn't create too much extra tightness or anything. It still is a pretty comfortable fit. And if I wanted to add my Android phone that I usually have in my bags, I could also do that. And I can do that. I guess I would have to lay her down. Now it definitely makes it a little bit more tight in there, but it could work. Again, placement is everything, so I may have to move something around. But I think that would still work. So it does enable you to add things on the go, which is always a plus for me. Here is the overview of our Dooney and Bourke. Again, here we go prying again, having to open her up. Now everything fit in nicely. It is a little bit more snug, but I have to admit that everything did go in. I'm utilizing the pockets, those interior pockets, to catch the smaller items, and that worked out well. I was also able to stand my glasses case up, so it does allow you to do that. And one advantage that the Dooney and Bourke has over the Coach is it does have this lovely key leash. And so that makes it easier to find your keys or whatever you want to clip on there. Now I did want to test and see if I'd be able to add additional items on the go. So I have my handy dandy date book here. I'm gonna slip her into the back. It definitely is a tighter fit, but she's getting in there just fine. And if I wanted to go ahead and add my Android phone, looks like she'd allow me to do that as well. And I think it is because of the pebble leather. I think that the pebble leather is very giving and it's easy to work with. But that is the bag. It's not looking too wonky, just a little bit on this side right here. But I just think maybe with different placement, something needs to be moved around. That is something that could be fixed, I believe. It's a little wonky. It definitely is a little tight, but it works. That's what I love about a woman's handbag, just opening it and seeing like all this stuff. Like, oh my God, what is all of that? You know, it's so interesting. And so I do love seeing a nice packed handbag. I like seeing all those cool items together. But the problem is when I try to get into the bag and I have to be on the go or I'm at a register and I'm the lady that's there fumbling around, trying to get to stuff. If I happen to put my ATM card somewhere else other than the actual wallet, then I'm fumbling around. I don't like that energy at all. So that's why this, although it's aesthetically pleasing for me, it doesn't work practically because I do need a little bit more space to work with. Now, like I said, it did pass the test and it allows you to add as you go, which is awesome. We know that this leather is going to soften and it's going to stretch with time. So it's going to create, there's going to be more space eventually. For me though, with this mouth being smaller, it just makes it harder. Now, if the mouth was extended and we have that extended zipper and I'd be able to open her up a little bit more, then I would probably like her a little bit more. But for now, it's the zipper for me and the fact that it just feels a little bit fussy. just a little bit fussy. So as far as personality, I would say that the Coach Rowan gives bougie, rich auntie. She has made it. She has arrived. She is sophisticated, elevated, and refined. It's giving bills on auto pay. And she is giving don't get too close or you'll ruin my makeup. Dooney and Bourke satchel is giving the fun aunt, the family rebel. She's showing up to the function a little bit tardy. She's allowing you to have brownies for breakfast. She's casual and free-spirited, and she's still working on herself. A bit lovable and caring, yet it's giving overdrafts and payment arrangements. You'll still get lots of hugs, and she'll allow you to borrow her self-help books. Now, I'm a Dooney girl. I'm a die-hard Dooney girl, absolutely. I don't trust anybody's straps more than I trust a Dooney strap. I don't trust anyone's hardware more than I trust some Dooney hardware. I always go to Dooney when I think quality, when I think longevity, when I want something that is not only going to look good, but it's going to function very well. I'm always looking to Dooney for that. So it almost breaks my heart to have to say that in this arena, right here, right now, it's the Coach Rowan for me. It's definitely the Coach Rowan for me. Now, like I said, I feel like these straps and this leather is gonna hold up. I've never had an issue with Dooney leather weakening at the hardware or falling apart at the hardware. Never had that issue. But I've had that issue with other bags. So I'm a little wary of how this strap and how this hardware and that strap will eventually wear and tear. One of my pet peeves is a handbag with a strap that's falling apart. We've all seen it. The strap is breaking down, the leather's broken down, it's worn out. We don't even know how it's still on the hardware, right? I go to Dooney to prevent that type of situation. So for me, it's a little bit unlike me to say that the Coach Rowan of the two Rowans is a better bag for me. This suits me better, and I would have a more enjoyable carry with this bag versus the Dooney Rowan. I kept this tag on her, so I'll be removing that. I'll definitely be keeping this bag in my collection. I did enjoy wearing her. I was so surprised. I've worn a Rowan before, but I don't think I gave her enough of a chance, and I ended up gifting her last holiday season to a amazing coworker. And so I'm gonna keep this one and I'm gonna wear her. So for all the points that I made here, the Coach Rowan is the bag for me. I feel like this Dooney Rowan is a pretty awesome bag as well. But because of all the major points that I listed here, she is not the bag for me. She would annoy me to death on the road. I'm going to stuff her and I'll be gifting her to a family member. I am going to probably put some bath and body type products inside the bag. I'll ship it up to her, and so she can have something beautiful to rock and also some amazing goodies inside the bag. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I was going to sell her on Poshmark, but I feel like it'll be a better choice to give it to someone that I feel would appreciate it. Now, that all being said, if you're like me and you give away or gift away a amazing purse, you kind of want to see the person wearing it all the time, right? So I'm trying to remove that from my mind. Like, if I give someone something, it is no longer mine. I do not have any control or say over the matter. And so if she never wears it, that's not my business. But we are talking about a Dooney and Bourke Rowan purse. So I want her to wear it. I want her to wear it. I do not want this bag sitting in her closet. So I'm kind of torn right there, but I'm going to follow my instinct. And I feel like I should go ahead and gift this amazing young lady this purse. So we're gonna pray on it. We're gonna pray on it a little bit more, but that's what I think I'll be doing with this Dooney and Bourke satchel. So I feel like I covered all the major points of these purses. Again, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Peace and love.